Great. We're ready to get going. It's lovely to have you on the call, everyone, and I do appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on the call with us, and let's get this done as timeously as I can, so that because I know your time's precious as well. So, to the guests on the call, I do welcome you, and I welcome you to this Zoom. And it's an invitation for us all to unite in a mission to make the world a healthier and a happy place. Whatever that means to each one of us. Neolife is a very, very established company, and they're committed to this mission. And the good news is that the solution to health is very clear, as is our way of business very clear. And so I'm going to try and unpack it just in, I said I gave myself 45 minutes and we're already 3 minutes into that. So we'll try and unpack it, and then we have another talk about other things, that we don't talk about tonight. But basically the message of the company is doing what's right. And, their Neolife's philosophy dictates that every decision they make is in the best interest of all of us, our families, our loved ones, our home, our environment, and our long history. And it's a 65-year history of Neolife, is of sustainable business practices, recyclable packaging, and eco-friendly decision-making. It's never wavered. So, there is a Neolife difference. Here, for those of you who don't know, we have a group of scientists, and I'm going to just show you pictures tonight. Our scientists, Dr. Arthur First, started the Scientific Advisory Board. These are our scientists that are focused on our products, on bringing us the absolutely latest in science, latest in research. They test our products on humans, not on rats, and everything is science-based. We have the Neolife difference, which is, it says, based in nature, backed by science. Every one of our nutritional products comes from human food, the food that we are meant to be eating, not anything outside the human food chain. So it's quite safe. Everything is safe. And so, it's all our nutrition is created by doctors and scientists. As I say, it's whole food based. It's non-genetically modified, which is a very big thing in today's world. It's clinically proven. And I am very privileged. I really feel the privilege of being the conduit, together with my other distributors that we work together with. We're the conduit from the scientists out to the public. So everything I'm saying is what I've learned, what I've been told by the top nutritional scientists in the world. So I feel incredibly privileged to have had that chance and to be able to pass it on. So let's start with disease. It's basically the result of two things. It's deficiency and it's toxicity. So if we just have that in mind, those two things, deficiency and toxicity. So we're going to talk about that all the way through, probably. So, what we've got to do is be very intentional about our deficiency in nutrients, it's a difficult thing because we can't see what's inside that pea or carrot, but we just know it's good for us. But where is it grown? But so we've got to look at toxicity as well, and what is accompanying our food, what is hidden in our food, and we'll try and just touch a little bit on that. And I'm going to give you two messages from two of our scientists. One is by Dr. John Miller, who has been with the Scientific Advisory Board ever since I've been around. and he's an amazing man, and he has got a tremendous ethics, and he he said this, and I made a note of it, and I just feel that if we get this message and we can pass this understanding on to people, that our immune function, that's our what keeps us going. Our immunity is life. It means life, really, because without an immunity, we don't make it. Okay. Our immune function is nutrition dependent, and the absence or presence of important nutritional components has a profound impact on our immune capability or capacity and its ability to protect us and our survival. And I feel very strongly about this. This afternoon, I spent in a very sad, happy but sad uh, 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 funeral or a memorial to a young lady who'd been married a year, and she didn't believe in food for immunity. She just believed in drugs, which is her choice. She didn't make it. And I felt all the way through, I just went that these two comments by our scientists were just going round and round and round in my heart, my mind. And I was just thinking, we have to get this message out and get people to understand this. So that's why I'm reading them to you, because I just think it's important. Dr. Oriana Karugu, who's the most beautiful, beautiful scientist and so committed to what she does and our health, she says, in the same vein, phytonutrients play an important role in improving our immune resilience. These powerful foods help to support and modulate immune function to keep us healthy and prevent specific diseases. And so, with that, let's get on with talking about our product and what we can do. So, when you look at toxicity, for instance, I am going to talk about one of our products that is the base of nutrition, and that is our Treonane. Our Treonane, which is the oils that come from all our, where are they? Here, all our grain foods. And as you can see in this picture behind me here, the brown base of our food triangle is whole grains. Now, whole grains don't mean the little cereals that we have stored away in boxes for breakfast every morning that never grow fur, they never get soft, they never get rotten, they just sit and wait for you to come home from holiday year in and year out, and we call it food. That is not whole grains. That comes from whole grains, but it's refined. And this is the thing, our food has been refined, our rice has been refined, so much so that the good oils called lipids and sterols have been removed from the base of our food. And those oils actually protect our cells. And I'm going to just show you this picture here. That is a healthy cell, and those are the lipids and sterols that are keeping that cell healthy, that cell permeable. It can feed from your circulation, all the nutrition it needs. It uses the nutrition, like any good factory. Waste products build up and the wastes go out. Now, if you do not have those oils in your eating, in your food, your body will then take any other fats that you've eaten, butter or whatever, meat, fat, whatever fats, and make those cell membranes. Now, if you look at our mouth and our stomach, for instance, those cells are turning over every 24 hours. So other cells take longer to turn over, but there's the movement of cells regenerating all the time in our bodies. And so it will use any fat that it needs to get that cell membrane made, and it's impermeable. So you're not using as much nutrition, and none of your waste is is being released from that cell. That's toxic. That makes you tired. It makes you not feel so good. And too many people are living a life of absolute exhaustion. Inside that cell are a whole lot of mitochondria, which are your energy factories. And if they are not going to function properly, you're going to feel rotten. Your recipes in there, your DNA's in there. And so we need to, this is a basic product that, and I'll tell you what it does. But basically, if we look at this here, this is your nutrient utilization efficiency, okay? Your nutrient utilization efficiency. And if you look at that orange bar chart, that is the food you will absorb from a plate of food by somebody who has not been taking trenin. The blue line is the absorption of the nutrients from the same plate of food. So it's more than double. So it makes you feel better. And this one here is your enhanced cardiovascular development without trenin, with trenin. And here's your growth and development in kids without trenin, with trenin. Now, there's another chart that's not on this, and it is exactly like this one, and that is glandular activity. Ladies, we know what happens to families when the glandular activity is not running right and the hormones are up and down. You know, teenage kids, ourselves, even our husbands, you know, if they are operating like this in their hormones, believe me, it's often a difficult time. So why not take something that's going to help your adrenal activity and promote happiness in families, because it's calm. Your hormones are at least there to do what they're meant to do. And so trenin is a great thing. So basically, you need trenin. Everybody needs trenin. If they lack energy or wake up tired, if they tire easily during the day, if they have chronic fatigue or ME, if they have aching joints or arthritis, it's one of the things they need. If you're prone to allergies, it's one of the things you need. Mood swings, as I've mentioned, hormone imbalance, menstrual imbalance, and PMS, it's very important for that. Menopausal symptoms, you can take 3 of these a day, you can take 6 of these a day. It's only food, and it just helps those hot flushes and those sleepless nights, etc. It's an amazing product. So simple. If you want more energy, more endurance, there we are. Let's just more energy, more endurance. Sports people for rapid recovery after their event. And if you want to stay youthful and vital, it's a very, very, very good product to have. Basically, what we say, trenin, or the grain concentrates, feed your cells, you know, and that is important. They feed your cells, they make you feel good, and that is why the building block has the whole grains as the base. And we're not talking about the vitamins and minerals in it. We're just not talking about the fiber. We're talking about the absolute essential oils that have been milled out of our basic food that God gave us. And in fact, if you look on the other side, this side here, we through the decades of eating and what we've had available and what the big industrial companies have been giving us and the trends, we've turned that triangle on its head. And in fact, you look at the whole grain portion of that triangle is upside down. And so we're going to talk about some fruits and vegetables, the green one. The yellow one, we're going to talk about protein. And the little tip of the top, we're not going to talk about because it's fats and sugars. It's all the little treats we allowed. We allowed treats, but we can't live on treats. You see, there's some families that over a couple of generations, their normal food has become treats, like a pizza. Hey, it's a treat. It's not an every night food. All the fast foods, they're treats. They're treats. They're not every day. And so we've got to get it back into proportion. It's got to be as natural as possible, and that'll be good for you. Okay, so that's enough about Treonine. I think keeping the cell working, keeping the adrenal glands working is just very good for a very good start to our health journey. In fact, if there's some stats that I really enjoyed from our dietitian, and that she said that with Treonine, our carotenoid absorption, and we're going to be talking about carotenoids, but that is our immune booster product. The carotenoid absorption is 2.5 to 15 times more absorbed. Increased absorption is from 2.5 to 15 times increased absorption of our immune foods, which are also oil-based. Our vitamin D, which I'll probably talk about if we've got time, the absorption of our vitamin D is increased by 32%. Who cares about the percentages? It's a lot. It's increased a lot with Treonine. And then it says the world global whatever. I don't know if it's the World Health Organization or one of the health organizations. Total cholesterol is reduced, lower oxidative stress, and anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effect. That is the latest research on Treonine. So it's really an exciting product. It's not a pricey product, and it is in the base of all of our multivitamins. Now, here's a multivitamin, Formula 4, and that's amazing vitamin and mineral supplement in a base of Treonine. So all our different multivitamins and minerals for the children, for adults, are all in a base of Treonine. And it's the only product like this in the world, and no other multivitamins have this base to them. So it's really exciting. It's just a very exciting thing. The next oil I want to talk about, and I'm going to quickly go through this, is the omega-3 and the omega-3 salmon oil plus. And I want to now clarify for our guests on the call that this is an omega-3, as you can see. It's not an omega-6. We don't want it to be an omega-6. We only want omega-3. And I'll tell you why. Omega-3, 6, and 9 are found in nature. They're wonderful when they're in nature. They're in the right proportions. But when we fiddle with our food, and I'm going to show you now how that has impacted over the last 100 years on the human health, you'll find that you get omega-6s hidden in huge amounts of food. So you have got what the scientists are saying, 40 times more omega-6 than omega-3. And that is inflammatory. That is what is causing all the diseases in all ages around the world, in every group of people around the world. If we put us all into one big melting pot, you're going to have heart disease, strokes, cancer, diabetes, respiratory diseases, gut diseases, and lung diseases, and brain problems, dementia and Alzheimer's. Those are prevalent in every community. And if we have a look at this, and I want to show you this. Let's see. No. You know what? I'm going to just show you this. In the last 100 years, if you look at what has happened to disease, and it's happened because we were told not to eat meat, not to eat animal fats, and butter and that. We had to go on to margarine. We had to go on to seed oil, safflower oil, cottonseed oil, sunflower oil and that, and not to have animal fats. At that stage, you'll find that the grain oils were processed, and the oils were moved out of our diets. So those two oils created a big problem. Those two things that they did to us. So I'm going to show you what has happened to us. Somebody has, let me just try and hold on a second. We'll just try and get this. And there we are. There we are. And then, okay, perfect. So if we look at this, here, if we look at heart disease in the United States, and that was the country that was actually keeping records far before we were. If we have a look at this here, in 1912, there was one known case of heart disease in the United States. If we go through to 2010, and I'm talking about around 100 years, if 1 in 3 people have heart disease. Okay? It's not a pretty picture, but we've got a solution. If we look at cancer, look at this, cancer. In 1900s, there were 1 in 17 deaths was cancer, 62-fold increase to 2010 when 1 in every 3 deaths is cancer. Something's happened in the last 100 years, I'm sure you'll agree. If we look at Alzheimer's and dementia, in 1948, there were 150 known cases. Today, there are 55 million. Now, you know, some people say, well, I wonder how accurate that is. That's accurate. This might not be accurate. You can add on another 1,000 there. You could add another 2,000 there. There's something happening that is not so good for the human body. Okay, so let's have a look at macular degeneration. Now, macular degeneration is when it's not cataracts, but it's behind the eye, which makes you blind, but you can see light and dark. You can't read a book, but you can see the square of the book, that sort of thing. It's a cruel disease. And in 1930, well, let's look at 1851. Look at this, 1930 to 2020, 196 million cases of macular degen. So, you know, it's not a pretty picture. It's quite a scary thing, but we have the answer. So now we're going to look at from the whole grain oils that help our cells detox, help our cells get healthy, help our cells start absorbing the nutrients we're eating. We're moving on to another oil, which is your omega-3, not omega-6. You do not want to supplement with 6 because we already have too much hidden in our sources, our mayonnaises from seed oils. Seed oils are completely omega-6. And so if you look at inflammation, every disease that I mentioned is inflammation. And so what we're trying to fight are the two evils of inflammation and oxidation. Oxidation is where you rust. You cut an apple in half, it goes brown. You peel a banana, you leave it, it goes brown. We age, we get cataracts, we get wrinkles. It's all to do with inflammation and oxidation. And so we don't want to do that. And so we're going to take omega-3 because it's a very, very, very powerful antioxidant. It's a total pure product, which is important, and that's the near life difference. It comes from disease-free fish that are fit for human consumption, and they have been cold pressed and the oils encapsulated. The capsules are then tested for over 200 toxins, and the acceptance level is 0. So it's pure, and it is fit for pregnant women and for babies, and that's the exciting thing. But no other that has been distilled, and you don't know the real source of the omegas are being used because they don't know what toxins are in there. And so it's very important. And the next important thing is that this is a complete omega 3. Normally, you get EPA, DHA, and maybe a couple of other molecular structures listed on the bottle. This one, we have all identified 8 uh, structures in this product. So if your body is not absolutely up to par and you swallow the omega, it is given to our body. It can just immediately absorb it. Your EPA and your DHA are your heart and your brain molecules that you need, but all the others make it up. If you can't make the others, you're not going to use the EPA and DHA that you're given. So here you've got the entire family. It is unique in the world. It's the only one in the world. So the first 2 products we've spoken about are totally unique to Neolife. There are many omegas around, but they're all varying qualities, varying toxicity. Some, and also we also use. I just want to mention we use specific capsules that we get because they do not allow the oils to become rancid. I know there was a test ages ago done by the Cancer Association, and about 80 or 90% of all omegas on the market were rancid. That was quite an eye-opener. This is fine. I've given it to many pregnant women, as have all our distributors on the call, and it's 100% safe for pregnant women because it is brain food. Omega is good for your brain, your heart, and circulation, prostate, and joints. So that's pretty. Then if we have a look at, let me just mute this. There we are. And then if you look at pregnant woman, the baby's brain is the first thing that starts generating cells and growing. And so this is what pregnant women need from day one, before they even fall pregnant, preferably. And then when the baby's born, if the mother is not supplementing and hasn't got enough omega-3 in her brain, or the baby just pulls out any omega-3 that it can find and leaves the mother depressed. Do you know any people who've been depressed after giving birth? It's not a very pretty picture. It's not a happy thing at all. And it can be totally prevented. You know, our brain is a fat organism, and you saw those dementia stats there that I showed you. You can't afford to take anything that pulls the fats out of your brain. Even if a little bit of cholesterol is there, it's good. There are drugs that do tend to defatify our brain, and sometimes that is not such a good thing. Your brain needs oils. So here we've got our treonine oil, here we've got our omega-3 oil, both totally anti-inflammatory, not causing headaches, reducing inflammation in prostate, reducing inflammation in joints, heart health, keeping the blood at the right viscosity, keeping the blood fats moving. You know, we need some cholesterol. This will help with blood pressure. This will help with cholesterol buildup. In fact, this product is, it's a good liver fat. That's what the scientists say. Omega-3 improves good liver fat. And they say it may well treat a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which people have. And so omega is really good for generally your eyes. Your macula needs omega, anti-inflammatory. Our skin needs it. Our lungs need it. We need omega-3. I don't know where you're getting your omega-3 from, but the best source is fatty fish. The most complete source of omega-3 is fatty fish. And if you don't know that they are are clean fish, fit for human consumption, it's a dangerous product to take. So here is one that is reliable. And it also, this product also helps prevent muscle loss as you age. It's not the only nutrient. The other nutrient is a whole protein, but it definitely can prevent muscle loss. Protein will help build the muscles again, which we can probably talk about if I don't take too long with all the other products. And then, so that's omega-3, absolutely vital for inflammation. It's a great, great inflammation, and every one of those diseases are based in inflammation. Then, if we have a look at the next product, which I've already mentioned, and that's the carotenoid product. Here it is. Has our carotenoid, and this is another oil product, the last of the oils that I'm going to be talking about probably tonight, and that's the carotenoid. And you can see all the lovely fruits and vegetables there. It comes from this bottle of 90 capsules. You can see those 90 capsules. It just takes 115 kilos, and I'm always quite blown away by that. 115 kilos to make 90 capsules of your tomatoes, your red peppers, your strawberries, your carrots, your spinach, your apricots, peaches, and that's it. And so here, those 7 fruits and veggies, 115 kilos, make up a carotenoid bottle. So it's potent. You see, it's the nutrients that are in that capsule. It's not the fibers and the sugars and everything else, the carbs. It's just the nutrients, it's density. So what we're looking at are 2 words that I get excited about. One is the density of nutrition, and the other is the diversity of nutrition, because those out of 7 products there, plus you've got 3 different um, grains that we've been used, and then you have 4 oily fish. That's diversity of nutrients from all different sources. And you take some of those supplements, you get the diversity and the density every day, and it's just very exciting. So now this product has been proven, and it's the only scientifically proven product to boost immunity by 37% in just 20 days. It was a patented product because they patent the way in which they treat the tomatoes, for instance, how they extract the carotenoids in a totally oxygen-free environment. They patented that process, the company, the scientists for Neolife. And so it boosts immunity. Now, if you are fighting a disease and you don't feel well, you don't eat well, you don't feel like eating, how much nutrition can you eat if you don't feel well? Here, you can swallow 1 or 2 capsules and get the nutrition your body needs to build that immunity. It's so vital. Just understand it works. It stops oxidative damage. Now, remember, oxidation is aging. Your cell membrane that I showed you, if that it's an oil membrane, if it doesn't have the carotenoid oils in, it will oxidize. It breaks. The recipe goes, it's a rogue cell, and it could be a bad hair day, a bad eye day, a bad skin day, but it could be a disease starting day. So we've got to be aware of, God's given us this variety of foods. We've got to make a plan to eat a variety of foods. Whether you were brought up with it or not, we've got to get back to nature, and what we eat must be as close to nature as possible. And so the carotenoid is just fantastic. So it stops oxidation by 44%. Now, it's hard to understand percentages. So I always say, okay, we all understand a 5% or a 10% percentage on our savings account, don't we? It makes a difference. So imagine that imagine 44% uh, uh, on your savings account. Make a big difference. And it's accumulative. So can you imagine how your body loves it? It's accumulative. It's just fantastic. So it prevents blood fats oxidation. So you just think of your blood fats and they oxidize and they stick to the pipes and they make those pipes smaller and smaller and smaller because the cholesterol sticks around the pipes, your arteries. So you can imagine it stops the oxidation of your blood fats. It stops cellular, as I said, oxidation. And this is a complete beta carotene family, a carotenoid family. One member of the family is called beta carotene. Beta carotene, there's nothing wrong with beta carotene, but it doesn't do all the things I've just said that carotenoids do. You've got to have that family together. And here we have the entire family together. It's very, very, a really good product. So I would suggest that we start looking at that as part of our regime. And then let's have a look at, I did say I'd talk about protein. Yeah, I must talk about protein. But before I talk about protein, I'm going to just stick around with the fruits and vegetables in this fruit and veggies, just very briefly. Here is a flavonoid. Now, flavonoids look after the water areas of our body, which is inside the cell, outside the cell. Carotenoids look after the lipid, the fat areas. Okay, so this stops the oxidative damage of your water areas. In fact, the ingredients in this flavonoid, you can see they're blacks and reds and green teas and that sort of thing. They stop the spread of cancer by more than 90%. They've taken breast cancer tissue in a laboratory, put these ingredients that make up flavonoid in, used it to show that it stops the spread of that cancer by 90%. I like those odds. So when I choose grapes, if they're black, if they're green, I don't eat them. If they're red only, then I'll take. But if they're black, that's what I. So blackberries, blueberries, anything with those deep colors, beetroots. Let's just eat all those lovely deep colors. Choice, choice. What we've got is choice. Probably too much choice sometimes. And that is a very good food group. So you've got your carotenoid foods, you've got your flavonoid foods, fruits and veggies, and now you've got your cruciferous. So now this is cruciferous plus. It's got your sulfur products like your broccoli, your radishes, your cabbages, your cauliflowers, your, those sulfury foods that often the family don't like. This helps prevent hormonally mediated cancers. This protects men's prostate. This protects breasts, uterus, and it's also good for lungs. A very, very good product to help prevent hormonally mediated cancers. It's great. We've had a lot of good results with this for men's prostate. They say if men live long enough and don't look after their prostate, it'll be the first thing that'll kill them. And because of prostate cancers, and an enlarged prostate can be dealt with in time, timelessly dealt with cruciferous, with omega, and with zinc. So that's that one. Protein. Let me get onto this protein. I love this protein. Here's our protein, guys. Oh my goodness. Here's our lovely packet of protein. This is the strawberry one. We've got chocolate. We've got vanilla. Right now, this is my favorite one, but I love them all. And so here is a power packet. This is amazing. So let's have a look at your protein. Inside this packet, you'll see, let me just try and straighten it out. you'll see a long list of your vitamins and minerals that are added to a complete protein. This is 22 amino acids of complete protein. Um, uh, uh, a complete protein is 22 amino acids. It's the only product that I know of in South Africa. I don't know about the world. I used to say the world, but I haven't checked that out recently. But I know it's the most perfect product for South Africa. Here's the scoop. For a complete meal, you need 2 scoops, but you fit it into your budget. You use 1 scoop or 2 scoops or a teaspoon, but just make sure that you get some protein into your body and fit it into your budget. Now let's have a look at why you want it, and why this one. Other than the 22 amino acids, we have carbohydrates in it, we have fats in it, there's some sugars in it, not artificial sugars, because we've got pawpaw and pineapple, we've got bromelain and papaya enzymes that will bring a little bit of fructose into it. So and it's got 5 grams of fiber per serving. So it is registered, it's known as a complete meal with all its vitamins and minerals. So if you just want to stay healthy, if you haven't got time for breakfast, if you couldn't be bothered to eat supper, or whatever stage of life you're in, this is a meal. Athletes take this before and after the events. The key roles that protein play is it's structural proteins, okay? So if we look at our structure protein, which is muscle, it's bone, it's skin, it's hair, it's nails, it's blood, it's cell membrane. That's what structure protein, in those structures, protein is prevalent. It's absolutely essential. And then if you look at functional proteins like hormones, protein makes hormones, digestive enzymes, it helps build your immune system. Your T cells come from protein. So this, together with your carotenoids, is a very good immune booster. People who go through, and I don't like, yeah, for me, it's important. When people go through chemo, they often have to stop their chemo treatment because their blood is weak. Their blood is, there's no more white blood cells. And so they have to get off their treatment. Now, if they're on protein, the ones that I have been with, walked that journey with, have been able to keep their treatment till the end. If that's the treatment that they have chosen, they must see it through. And this product helps them see it through because it keeps their immunity up so they can fight. Their body has the strength to fight. It's an incredible a protein. So the 22 amino acids just mean that those 22 amino acids are building blocks for the protein, which, you know, for our body. If you look at the amino acid content of protein, you can tell a lot about a protein. If you look at what is a very popular thing today is collagen powders. I'm not knocking them. I'm just bringing a message from the scientists to say collagen is like gelatin. It's not gelatin. It is like gelatin. It is nutritionally incomplete protein. Its protein quality score is 0. It's PDCASS. It's a very specific score of protein. It's collagen protein is 0, whereas ours is 1.7, the highest score of any protein. It's even higher than eggs. So it's very absorbable, very, very good for us. Okay, collagen is missing a lot of protein, amino acids, and so often it's not ideal for infants, for instance, mothers take this because it's a building block to what are your cells made of? Protein. Everything you can see in the mirror and everything behind what you can see in the mirror is protein. So pregnant women need this. If you want happy, healthy babies born, this is the product that the mother should be having once a day because it's protein. It's a clean protein with no bad fats or anything. It there are a lot of shortcomings with a lot of proteins and a lot of shortcomings with the collagen packages out there. But this shake has none of these shortcomings. For instance, aspartame is often out of it, lacking in collagen and other proteins, and that is required for brain development and function. I mean, that's quite an important part of being healthy. So you know what? You don't want um, uh, the amino acids that are involved in immune function, in brain function, missing. And so here they all are, and they're all in the right proportion to be utilized. And I think that's so, for me, it's been my go to. And I've been part of this for 50 years. Rory and I joined and thought, I think we like the business owners, we trust them, we like the integrity. And so we kept going. And I'm very, very happy. My family is now, I say third generation, really fourth, because my mother put on these products 50 years ago. And sure, she's not with us any longer, but she had a healthy life, brilliantly healthy life. And it's three generations from us onwards, So we're very excited about this. And I'm very, very excited to pass on the whole message of this. There are a lot of other products we should talk about. I've probably done my whole talk. I'm just going to mention one other little thing now that probably I shouldn't be mentioning, but I want to mention, and that's our vitamin C. And I'll tell you why I'm mentioning it, because it's the vitamin C season. Everybody's taking vitamin C. Vitamin C fights infection. Great. Vitamin C is good for fighting infection. Any vitamin C can fight infection, but only a vitamin C that comes from nature, not a factory. You see, vitamin C can be made synthetically. A lot of nutrition is made synthetically, and your body does not recognize synthetic nutrients. It's like the toxins we breathe in, the water we drink, there are toxins in. Your body does not recognize those toxins. But natural vitamin C is a great, great asset to a body. And this is a natural vitamin C. It's got funny things like bioflavonoids and hesperidin and rutin, all those funny names which make it like a vitamin C complex, okay, which a synthetic one wouldn't have in. And I want to just say that this is a sustained release. It's sustained release. So that means it releases for 6 to 8 hours after you take it. And why is that? It's a water soluble vitamin. So if you have a lot of vitamin C from fruit or just tablets or whatever, your body will utilize what it needs and the rest will be flushed out. But a vitamin C sustained release, it just releases a little bit for 6 to 8 hours so that your body is utilizing everything that you've spent all your money on to make sure you have a healthy diet. And so this is a 500 milligram. It's what we should be having every day. 500 milligrams of vitamin C for optimum health. Linus Pauling, who was the vitamin C advocate right from way back, he used to only, and there are a lot of nutrients that weren't even recognized or discovered when he was doing his research. He used vitamin C for virtually everything, and he used up to 10,000 milligrams of C to fight disease. and fight cancers. So I'm just giving you a little show that it's possible to have a huge amount of vitamin C if you're fighting a disease, but we have other things now that sort of buddy up with it. But so we've got 500 milligrams in each tablet, which is sustained over the day. And we've got an all C somewhere. I think I've got it here. Yeah, we've got an all C, which is a beautiful chewable um, uh, instant release tea, it's like a sweetie, and it's 200 milligrams. So it won't be higher because they don't want you to waste it and your body to excrete it. So let's have a look. I've got some interesting stuff here, which I think, and we have a lot of very energetic runners on the call. But it says here, a group of comrades marathon runners participated in trials. 600 milligrams of vitamin C has been reported to reduce susceptibility to the common cold. Because often sports people or the comrades runners, heavy runners, they get flu after they've finished their event. So they saw 600 milligrams of C really did help that. The upper respiratory tract infection was significantly less in runners who received that amount of vitamin C. For 3 weeks after running a 90-kilometer race, then runners receiving a dummy pill. So you just keep taking it for 3 weeks afterwards, and the disease and the flus and that never came. It's a very, very powerful antioxidant. Vitamin C is in water areas, like your flavonoids. It's like your flavonoids. It's the same family as flavonoids. And so it's all for water areas. It's an antioxidant, especially for physically active people. It's essential for immunity. It's brilliant for immunity. But here's the thing. Vitamin C plays a major, major role in the formation of collagen. So what is collagen? Collagen is the glue that sticks us together. Collagen keeps our bones strong. Calcium keeps the bone density there, but collagen sticks us together and keeps us strong. Collagen is vitamin C keeps moisture in the skin and in the collagen to try and prevent wrinkles. Ladies, we've got to prevent wrinkles as hard as we can. Eh? And it's very, very important for the growth and repair of body tissue, body tissue, our cells, our gums, our blood vessels, our bones, and our teeth. That is the collagen part with vitamin C, helping that collagen be strong. So, it's very important. So if you look at what makes collagen, your protein, your vitamin C, minerals, make the best collagen that your body could ever have. For every aspect of collagen. And so it's really exciting. This Linus Pauling, this scientist from long ago, this is what he says. Vitamin C decreases infection by 25% and cancers by 75% if taken in 1,000 to 10,000 milligram doses. It's a lot, but I'm just telling you what he says. It accelerates healing after surgery. And vitamin C definitely reduces the effects of allergy-producing substances. Vitamin C is good for allergies, to help fight allergies, together with the treonine, funnily enough. Vitamin C is destroyed by carbon monoxide from our exhaust. So city dwellers need to take extra C. And these runners who run on the busiest roads at the busiest times, the cyclists all need to have a handful of vitamin C because of their carbon monoxide. And what about aspirin? Aspirin triples vitamin C excretion. So, yeah, it's water soluble. It's excreted in 2 to 3 hours, and that's why you need the sustained release. And a natural one with the bioflavonoids in because that's what your body loves. A synthetic one will fight infection, but a synthetic one will not help your collagen and everything that I've listed there. So you get far more value from your money with a completely natural one from rose hips and bioflavonoids and the rest. Okay, so that's all I'm going to leave you with because I have been to, yeah, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. I hope you have the most wonderful, healthy life from here on. I hope you just feel the best you've ever felt because there's nothing worse than feeling not optimal. So let's get to the absolute optimum and spread the good news. It's really good news. So, everyone, I just appreciate you being on this call. I thank you so much. And hey, let's do it. Let's get this message out. God bless you all.